Hey, I'm Angie.
And I am Aislinn.
On today's episode of the Food Hero Cooking Show, we are making garden sloppy joes. So Aislinn and I need to go get our hands washed. We'll meet you right back here to get started.
Food hero is fun. Yeah.
Okay, so garden sloppy joes are what's on the menu today. And so these have several vegetables in them, Ace. We are going to start with some lovely bell pepper. And I've cut the top off here so I can get a nice flat edge. And I'm going to have you start slicing that up into small pieces. So you can either use the butter knife or the child safety knife. And then I'm going to work on it over here. Yeah, small pieces. I'm going to get the seeds out of the middle. We'll get those into the garbage bowl for our chickens.
Give them more of that good stuff. Recipes that kids love.
Okay, so I'm going to give Aislinn a few more strips. And now she's had experience using a sharper knife. So I am going to let her go ahead and use that today. So what are the things you need to remember when you're chopping with a sharper knife?
You need to keep your fingers curled back.
And point the tip down and saw back and forth. So I want you to point it down a little bit. Keep your fingers curled back and take your time. Take your time. Okay. And once you get those chopped up, you can go ahead and throw them into that bowl there. Okay. Be very careful, Aislinn. Now remember, tip down. You want tip down. Tip down is key.
It's hard to get enough. Where healthy food is fun. Give them
All right, Ace. How are you doing on that pepper over there? Looks like you're almost done. And I am getting an onion diced up over here. And these peppers and onions we were able to get from one of our local farmers at the farmer's market. And there's also going to be a carrot that goes into this that we were also able to get locally. What I like about the farmer's market is sometimes you can get the fun carrots too, the purple and the orange, all the beautiful colors. But today in this we're using orange carrots. So we're going to start out by getting our ground beef. I'm going to turn our skillet on here. And of course, I've got some of Grandpa Ken's ground beef in here, and it's nice and lean. One of the things I want to point out with this recipe, if you go to foodhero.org and print off a garden sloppy joes recipe or just look it up on your phone, it calls for either lean ground beef, turkey, or chicken. And the reason that the recipe calls for lean is because you're not going to drain it. So you really do want to have a lean meat in this, and the meat that I do get from my dad is nice and lean, so we will not have to worry about draining in this particular recipe, because as we cook this, we are going to add the veggies right to the meat, especially our veggies that are a little bit harder. So this onion that I diced up here, we're going to add that in to brown with the meat, the pepper that Aislinn's working on, and then this may look a little odd, but this is mushroom. This is an 8-ounce package of mushroom. And I want to point out something about this mushroom. Mushroom is actually very meaty. And so if you wanted to do less meat in this, you could actually increase your proportion of mushroom. Or if you wanted a non-meat dish, you could use more mushroom and also add some beans. But what I did here with the mushroom today, because my kids think they don't like mushroom, is I actually pulsed it in a food processor. And you can also just chop it up finely. But when you do that, it blends in really well with the ground beef. And so I shouldn't shoot these recipe videos with my kids because they have no idea that I've been doing this for years. But if you do get that mushroom chopped up really fine or even pulse it in a food processor, it just will really blend right in with your ground beef, or can be a nice substitute. So Aislinn, we're going to go ahead and get your peppers in there and the onions. We're going to cook all this down.
You really did that?
Yes, I got the onion chopped. Hand me the pepper. You want to hand me the peppers that you chopped? You want to carefully pour those in. Be careful because remember it's hot. Oh, and our knife needs to go up here at the top so we don't accidentally knock it off. Okay, good. And then Aislinn, we were also working on shredding the carrot. Do you want to bring the carrot over here that we already shredded? Okay, so we just shredded one carrot as well. So we've got, again, some beautiful color going in here.
Can I mix it?
And we're going to cook that all down. Yes, just give me a second, Ace, and I'll let you work on this. Now remember that it's hot. So all areas around here are hot. And we really want to break up the ground beef a little bit more. Move things around carefully to just get that all cooked. Again, I want to point out, this can be done in a pan on your stovetop, a large skillet on your stovetop. I'm just doing it here today so that it's better for you to see. But I love dishes like this, especially when it's hot out, because there's no need to turn on your oven. You can do it all on a stovetop and not bring as much heat into your kitchen. Okay, so that's cooking up nicely. You want to try it a little bit? I want you to scoot closer if you're going to do that.
That good stuff, recipes that kids love.
Okay, we've got our meat and our veggies all browned and softened.
Where's the mushroom stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't even tell there's mushrooms in there anymore, can you? Look at that. So they just cook up beautifully with the ground beef and add lots of nutrition. Did you know that mushrooms actually have some vitamin D in them too? And they're actually fungi. Did you know that?
Fungus?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Is it
But
fungus bad for you?
no, in this case it's very good for you. And there's actually lots of nutrition, lots of vitamins and minerals. So antioxidants, all that good stuff. Peppers, they're going to give us good stuff too. There's lots of vitamin C in those. And we've got the vitamin A and the beautiful carrots and our onions. Ugh, smells good. So what we're adding now, we're going to add an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce here. So we'll get that in there. 15-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Now you could also add diced tomatoes if you didn't mind it looking a little bit chunkier. Aislinn, I'm going to have you go ahead and grab the 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. So we're going to add that in there. That's just going to add a little bit of a different flavor profile. Go ahead and scrape that all out of the cup there with your spatula. Good job. Very good. All right, and then what we're going to do, we need to let all of this simmer down. So we'll get it up a little bit to simmer. Some of those liquids will cook off and it'll thicken up really nicely. So let's get all of that mixed together. So once this is all simmered down, what we're going to do is we're going to actually put it over the top of a whole wheat. We've got some whole wheat buns here. It works great there. You can just put them open face. Another thing that works really good if you have small children, I found, is toasted English muffins. Are a little bit smaller and a little bit more suited to appetite of younger kids. And then sometimes we also like to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top there. But we've still got a little bit of simmering to do here, Aislinn, before we're ready to eat. All right, looks like our garden sloppy joes are starting to thicken and come together. Our camera woman over here says she's getting hungry, so I'm going to dish her up a portion. And with that, we are going to sign off today on this episode of the Food Hero Cooking Show. We will see you next time.
Bye.
And a food hero is fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.